Today we are making this wireless charging stand. It's mostly a CNC project. It's made out of plywood and aluminium, and we are going to be using this Ikea wireless charger to power it up. So this is our piece of plywood. I marked the center here, and we are going to use this 50mm Forstner bit to drill a hole in the middle so that our tiny CNC doesn't have to bore such a large hole. So we are going to pre-drill the middle, and then we are going to cut the rest off with the CNC. Alright, we are over at the CNC. I secured the piece of plywood to the table using those 4 clamps, and this should be plenty strong enough. I just hope that I got enough clearance around the clamps, but we should see that during the first operation, so I'm just going to keep an eye on that, and if anything gets too close, I'm just going to stop the program. So now we have to find the zero position. I've got the zero position in the center of the piece on this top plane. So what I've got in here right now is this pointy engraving bit, which is great because I can find the zero, meaning the center of the circle. There is a dimple left after the Forstner bit, so I'm just going to nicely align this engraving bit in the middle of the dimple. Then I'm going to change for the single fluid carbide end mill and set the Z0 position when the new end mill is in there. So we are using one of these very sharp single fluid carbide end mills you can get from China for quite cheap, and they work really well in the plywood. Right, so I made this circle exactly 90mm, actually a 90.2, a little bit oversized. However, this charger is 91mm, so I have to recut this. It's no big deal. I'm just gonna do a spiral cut down and open it up to 91.3mm, and then it should fit just fine. This is how it should fit in there. So here it's flush, here it's a little bit over, but if I push on it, I don't want to do it right now so that I can get it out. It's going to fit in there really nicely. So this is the kind of snug fit I was going for. So this way I can just snug it in there, and I don't even have to use a glue or double-sided tape or anything. It's just going to hold in there. So I'm really happy with that. So before I take the part of the machine, I decided to add a little engraving to the face. So I switched to 45-degree 2-fluid engraving end mill, and that's what I'm gonna use to put this interesting, hopefully interesting pattern on this face. Okay, so there's a pattern done. I think it turned out really nicely. It's quite shallow, but I think it's gonna look really good. It's only 0.5mm deep, but I believe that it's going to turn out really nice. So now I can take this off the machine, cut it out of it, and clean it up, and basically finish the whole part. So let's do that. Alright, so it's time to apply the finish. What I'm gonna do is linseed oil. I think it's going to make everything pop really nicely and protect the wood as well. So I'm just going to brush it on with a cloth, and probably gonna do 2 coats and let it dry in between. Alright, so we've got the main wooden body of the charging stand done. I put some linseed oil on there and it looks really nice. So now we need a few parts or 2 parts to finish it off. First of all, I want this to sit at like a 70-degree angle. So we definitely need some support to put in the back here, which is going to keep it standing basically. And then we need another support or shelf here in front, which is going to hold the phone up. There are quite a few options obviously. For the front, you can just take a strip of wood of the right thickness, which this actually is, and like put it in here, add some wood glue maybe, and it should work fine. But I don't really want to make this whole part out of wood. I think that using some colder material like glass or metal would really benefit the design. So what I decided to do is to use aluminium, and because I have an access to a really nice router, to make the back support as well as this front shelf out of aluminium on the router.